Hello, folks. Silicon Steve Valley here, of course, for High Spots J-Pops! And it is now time that we have seen everything come to pass, and we have seen Hangman Adam Page beat Kenny Omega for the AEW World Championship. And I would like to just congratulate him and all of us who've been on this fantastic journey. And as many of you may know, we are working on a 5-part series, 5 acts as I call them, even though you're supposed to only have 3 acts. I get it. It was part of irony, if you didn't get it. And part of that situation, of those 5 acts, I have gone in deep into the Kenny Omega and Hangman Adam Page saga. And I wanted to kind of pontificate on everything that we've seen transcend. And let me explain to you without any uncertain terms. This is the greatest and most detailed story in the history of professional wrestling. I don't care what you throw at me. If you throw something at me from some indie promotion in 1999, okay, dude, you got me. But in terms of large scale, I'm talking WWE, NWA in its prime, WCW even, obviously. None of them are this detailed. And we all know it's a story of the Hangman's redemption. Him kind of getting into the drinking habits, becoming a piece of shit in many respects, costing his friends the tag team championship opportunity. But it's more than that. This was about friendship. At the end of the day, this company was started because a group of about 5 or 6 guys absolutely would not take no for an answer in terms of what they were going to do to change the world of professional wrestling the way we know it. Real professional wrestling. I remember during the CM Punk Best in the World DVD, and he dropped a pipe bomb and he said, it feels like it almost started a revolution. What CM Punk didn't understand is that it did start a revolution. And that revolution, as he took a powder, so to speak, that revolution was carried on by a bunch of people. But the 5 guys we're going to talk about right now is Cody, Hangman, the Young Bucks, and of course Kenny Omega. Friendship. Pals. And this story was about how the Young Bucks were pushed over the brink to not give up on Hangman Adam Page. It was only until he cost them physically for the tag team championships when they had that gauntlet match. And then, of course, Matt Jackson famously threw the drink in Hangman's face. But the most telling part about that scene, other than the brilliant visual of Hangman Adam Page staring into the mirror and the drink thrown in Hangman's face, the most brilliant part of that was the passionate, heartbreaking words of Matt Jackson saying, basically, we're giving up on you now. You're out of the elite. You wanted to be out, you're out. But Matt Jackson never wanted to give up on Hangman. Nick Jackson never wanted to give up on Hangman. He was their friend. And they didn't want to give up on him until they were forced to. Then we know they turned heel and what have you. And then eventually they did cost Hangman. But you can always tell, and if you saw the Being the Elite story, Nick Jackson, Matt Jackson, particularly Matt Jackson, and Hangman, they both kind of wanted to get back together. They both sent texts and they were missed, or in one case, Matt Hardy actually commandeered Hangman's phone and sent a really pretty nasty text back to Matt Jackson, and it wasn't even Hangman. Matt Jackson said, hey man, let's talk this stuff out. And that was when the Bucks already had the tag team championships and they're maybe just kind of squashed some things. But Matt Hardy totally said, no. He said, sending it back with Hangman's text, he just said, fuck off. You guys suck. You guys are assholes, or something like that. And then it was revealed to Matt Jackson, but that was much later on when the bad blood had already seeped way up to a near boil. So it didn't really matter at that point. But this was a story of possible some friendships being rebuilt. Possibly some doors being left open for some things to be healed. And that's what I take away from the Hangman and Kenny's story, and particularly if you see just how it's really about friendship. And it doesn't even go from there. How about the friendship of Dark Order hoisting Hangman up when he was at his lowest? And the Dark Order, these lovable losers, became the main major characters in this story. Friendship. They loved Hangman for who he is. And Hangman, in turn, loved them back. Friendship. Kenny Omega doing the honors the way he did. And whatever those words were, they shared a couple of really, I would assume, pretty emotional words after that match. And again, friendship. And it's also it's kayfabe friendship, and it's real friendship. Yeah, it's the greatest story that has ever been told in the world of professional wrestling. There's not a doubt in my mind, and I've been watching for a very long time, folks. I watched King Kong Bundy almost kill Hulk Hogan live on Saturday night's main event. I've been around the block. And I just want to say, with all of my heart, thank you so much to everybody that took part in this show. And that includes, and the storyline, and that includes us, the fans. Roman Reigns recently said that he doesn't get how the AEW crowd, it's like they're part of the show. You're goddamn right we are. This is what happens when a wrestling company treats their fans with respect. There's a passion. There's a love. CM Punk said just the other day, a professional wrestling company making good professional wrestling, what a concept. And this storyline culminating with everything that a Hollywood movie would need. The proud but bittersweet moment for the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega, particularly the Young Bucks. The great gesture of throwing the beer away, knowing that his friends are the most important thing, not the alcohol. And he embraced the Dark Order, all of them there hugging, including Anna Jay. Yeah, this was the greatest story in the history of professional wrestling. Will it be the most famous? Does it matter? Will it make the most money? I don't give a shit. I just saw a bunch of guys go out there and tell a 2.5-year story, which was a storyline that started at the exact same time, even before Dynamite even came on the air. This is the greatest story in the history of professional wrestling. It's about friendship. It's about not giving up. It's about redemption. No loose ends. Everything tied up in a nice little bow. Can't wait for the future. But I salute you, AEW. I salute you, Young Bucks. I salute you, Tony. Thank you for everything you're doing too, brother. It's a great time to be a professional wrestling fan, and just watched the Hangman Kenny match the third time. Not the best match I've ever seen by any stretch in terms of bell to bell. We know what Kenny could do. He was a little bit limited. I did not know that looking at that match. And they still told a great story. And more importantly, the emotion was so raw and beautiful, and the story was perfect. So, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to say everything it is. So I do apologize if we haven't been on Twitter quite as much, but we have been producing long-term videos on YouTube for the first time ever. We're just getting used to that. Again, the official launch is going to be in 2 months. We're just getting started, as Kenny would famously say in 2019. So, hey, this has been your 10 minutes in the Valley, folks. My name is Silicon Steve Valley. Thank you for watching. And if you like the video, and if you like any of our videos, please hit the subscribe button. It helps us. If I could do this full time, guys, you have no idea what this community, with you guys, what we can all do together. We're talking shows, we're talking comedy bits, we're talking getting a bunch of celebrities in here. A lot of big things on the horizon. And it's happening. Just depends how quickly. Thank you for listening to High Spots and Cheap Pops. Thank you for viewing. Please hit the subscribe button. One more time, I'll tell you. Hit the subscribe button. And we will see you soon. Here endeth the lesson. This is Silicon City Valley.